Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Back 9 coverage of Round 1 of the 2020 Great Lakes Open presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by my co-host Tristan Tanner. Tristan, what's up, dude?
How's it going, everybody?
We had a interesting front nine with our card, and we are tackling, I would say, the more scoreable section of the Toboggan course. What are your thoughts on this Toboggan course as a whole?
Yeah, I think some of the harder par threes we have on this back nine, but again, like you said, a lot of scoreable holes, especially getting down in 15, 16. So we'll see if our players can get farther under par or turn their rounds around.
Yeah, and we did have kind of a rough start for a couple players. Greg Barsby and Reed Frescura had kind of a rough time scoring in the front nine. Adam Hams had a decent amount of birdies to make up for the two bogeys, and Eagle McMahon is playing pretty solid right now. And we have a lot of players playing pretty solid right now. A lot of good scores have been being put up, and anything in the 7 or better range is going to keep you in a good position. Moving into hole number 10, tricky shot shape for a righty. It's a par 3, 370 feet, but it's a giant, high panning turnover with kind of a stable disc.
Yeah, you definitely want the disc to fight back to flat, or else you're going to get some sort of cut roll back down the hill.
Yeah.
And you see Eagle actually going with a forehand on this hole, which is the play I like, but it is a huge forehand. That one was just a little bit outside, it looked like.
And that's the trick with that lower pushing hyzer. You have to really cut it tight. That also looks a little bit too outside.
Probably not the angle Greg was looking for, just a little bit too outside.
And for the lefty, you're wanting to cut it tight with something medium stability, nothing too overstable that'll crash out of the flight too early. I'm guessing Reed's going to be throwing a force or a Zeus here. Looks like potentially a force. And that's a steep hyzer angle. And as you see, slowly panning.
Good glide on that disc.
That's a great hyzer. Oh my
man.
Gosh. I don't know if he was rude to somebody last week or what.
If you haven't tuned into the front nine, Reed was having some of the worst rollaways we've seen. And that's just another one. Adam with a good-looking shot, maybe a little inside. Oh, it's perfect.
Okay.
That is great.
And I thought that was going to catch edge and roll. Looks like he panned it out right at the right time. And here's Barsby with a little chip forehand up the hill.
Greg's Rhino. He loves this thing for his little forehand approaches. And those bushes and trees can be a little tricky down there at the bottom of the hill, so to be able to have a look to get up and down is a good thing.
He's just pitching that up under the basket. I'm sure he had to maybe fight some urge to run the basket on this one, but after the luck he's been getting this round, I don't like to use the word luck too often, but it's been unfortunate to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, this isn't a basket that you want to be testing that on. This one, if you hit cage or any of the basket, really, it highly likely to roll away.
That's an awesome shot from Adam. I think he might have thrown an Undertaker on that one.
That's what I would have thought.
And a par from Reed. And like you said, some of the harder par threes to score on are on this course, or on this back nine. Hole 11 is no different. This is kind of a reverse position of hole number 10.
Yeah, definitely. This one is going to be up and to the left. Not quite as much of a gradual turn as hole 10. Probably maybe a little bit more uphill even. But this is just going to be a pushing hyzer for our righties, and actually a pretty good flex line for Reed. This looks good if it skips. Just outside the circle.
Yeah, I mean, for how low that was, it got up there decent ways. And what you're saying by pushing hyzer is a disc that doesn't start moving left right out of the flight. It's moving forward as it's slowly flipping up and hyzering.
Yep, using a little bit more of the glide of the disc.
Barsby, he was definitely looking like he was trying to throw one of those pushing hyzers and just couldn't quite get it.
Yep, just flipped it up just a little too much.
And this is an awesome shape for a lefty.
It's looking tasty if it holds. It should be just fine. Somewhere around circle's edge over there. Some trees to contend with, but shouldn't be too bad. Greg is definitely trying to put this in.
And he's been doing that for years. He's been trying to put those in for a long time from that distance.
Oh, and that's a great putt. From a knee, outside the circle, it
Low
looks
ceiling.
like. Low ceiling, branches all over the place. That's an incredible putt.
That's a confident putt right there.
Good birdie there from Reed. Good to see him get that turned around. Is that his first birdie of the round, maybe?
I think it was. And after some of the holes he's had, it probably feels good to get back on the horse. Adam taps in a par. Yeah, Reed went hyzer flip turnover up the hill, which is something I'll have to take notes on.
Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive line
Yeah.
to make sure it turns, but with the glide you get out of that, it's actually probably pretty good. Hole 12 here. It's probably the hardest par 3 on the course, I'd say.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a pushing left to right shot, generally with a forehand or a lefty hyzer, trying to get under these limbs, and then just getting anywhere in this area is great, but any extra skip or action you can get towards the basket is amazing after that.
Another hole where a hyzer with an overstable disc is not going to get you in position for the birdie. You have to throw a bit more of a skilled hyzer line. And you know that Eagle is no stranger to the skilled hyzer line.
The little inside.
And that middle tree right there defines the shot. You have to go underneath it to have a pure line at the basket. And Reed is going
big.
Huge lefty hyzer.
I have not seen this line. Does it get through the trees? Probably somewhere down on that left side.
This is a bit of a straighter force from Adam.
Little high, but has, just barely clips a branch. Throwing that higher shot definitely is contending with some more limbs. I like this lower line from Greg.
A little bit better of a line. Might be in circle 2.
Yeah, just a little bit short. This is another one. It's hard to get the distance all the way there on this hole.
And this is a hole that a lot of people are bogeying as well. You get caught up early in the stuff left or right. You kind of have a tough trick shot to get to the basket.
This basket position with the hill behind does give players you can run this approach if you would like.
Oh, yeah.
See that from Reed. Almost cashing that one up. Great run from Greg.
Yeah, and this is one that people... nice putt. This is one that people are saying that could potentially be stretched out into a par 4 at some point, potentially moving the tee pad back and diagonal from where it is now, moving the basket back another 100 feet. Either way, downhill shot shape is just a beautiful hole.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more fun shots to throw.
Absolutely.
Just seeing the disc glide down the hill is definitely enjoyable.
Reed with another par. And after Greg taps in his par putt as well, we are going to move into hole number 13. We will see you in a little bit after this commercial. Hole number 13. One of the signature par fours out here. It's pretty straightforward, but you got to love a hole where you can just absolutely unleash on a drive.
Yeah, this hole really allows players to unleash a lot, but if you're up on that hillside, it does give you a little bit trickier footing on the second shot. Basket up and to the left. It really puts a lot of pressure on the tee shot to put yourself in good position.
What I find interesting is the fact that they've taken the OB away, as opposed to last year where the tall grass, at least on the left, I know was OB.
Yeah, I was talking about this with some friends, and I think it might be to encourage that bigger shot, which would then give people trickier footing on the second shot.
Exactly. And that was a huge drive from Eagle. He will be on the slope of the hill.
Reed just smashing a hyzer out there.
And being a lefty, he knows being on the right side of that fairway is a little bit more direct because the basket does tuck back into the left at the top of the hill. That had some speed on it.
Yeah, he put a lot into that one. Good turn. Be a little on the left side of the fairway, just barely in the tall grass. Greg.
No time.
Playing fast as usual. A little bit too turned over there.
Big hyzer flip turnover. That disc is flippy.
Very understable. Stalls out a little bit, but going to have that step putt range that he likes. That can be a tricky shot pinched off on the left side. And that is done pretty well. Going to be a little bit in the bushes, but should be able to have a straddle putt.
Yeah, this is one of those approaches to the green where you think the shot is good and then it's too wide. You have to push it almost out of your sight to get it to be a good shot. And that was a fantastic play from Eagle there.
Pretty aggressive run there from Reed, just off the band. Adam here from the bushes.
There he goes.
It's a good putt. Those can be tricky. Maybe some stuff in your reach back.
And this is one of those par fours that if you're not looking at a birdie as a professional, you're feeling like you kind of failed yourself on this hole.
Yeah, definitely. There's not a whole lot of danger. If you execute two good shots, you're probably going to have a birdie look.
Exactly. There's a 4 from Greg. And we are going to move into probably the easiest hole on the course.
Yeah, I would say definitely the easiest par 3. Just downhill, a lot of our players are going to be throwing just a wide hyzer. And it's definitely better to keep it out wide and then let it gradually fade into the basket. This gap here is what you're going to be looking for just to get you a little long on the right side of the basket. Is where the ideal position
and that's the tricky part. If you're trying to pin the hole, you'll end up in a bush that's right pin high with the basket. So a lot of players are looking to crash one in pretty vertical to lessen the profile of the disc.
That was really good. Definitely a steeper angle than most players take.
There's another Crystal Raptor from Adam. He went a little inside.
To get through.
Didn't quite see where that landed. Might be caught up in the back there.
Or maybe edge of circle 2.
Oh, baby.
It's nice to hear that Reed has a bit of a sense of humor, despite how this round is going for him.
Definitely. Reed is always good for a little joke here and there.
There's a little slow flip-up line from Greg. And he also got caught up in those bushes in the back. I've seen the most success on this hole off the tee with kind of a spiking line where the disc kind of comes in vertical and kind of rolls up to the basket. There's another air bounce from Reed.
Ooh, another great run. Do you know what that is?
I believe it's a CT Challenger that he's throwing.
Okay.
Super, super stiff blend of that disc. Another birdie attempt Greg's been struggling to capitalize on. And there's another one from Eagle.
This is a great birdie to get, even though it is probably the easiest par 3 on the course. It is just still an awkward shot.
Yes.
And when you get it, it feels good.
And this is kind of like birdie alley at this point. You know, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 are all holes that you should be able to be in position on. And we see Eagle moving to 8 under par on the round, and we will catch you on hole number 15 in just a few minutes.
Hole 15 is probably the easiest hole on the course, I would say now. It is a par 4 that just moves slightly down to the right off the tee. And then we have this backstop for a green. Really allows you to get aggressive and just jam your approach right by the basket.
Yeah, we can see some players going hard power turnover with the distance driver, trying to get to potentially here for an eagle run. I haven't seen many successful drives, but there are quite a few players trying to take that aggressive turnover, but mainly righty sidearm, lefty backhand. And here's Eagle.
Eagle going with just FD3 off the tee. Not playing too aggressive, just trying to get to the top of the hill. Oh, and that actually pushes the OB line left.
And I don't quite know if that's safe or not. Little inside.
Good kick off that tree, though.
Yeah, and this hole really, like, if you just put the disc in play somehow in the fairway, you'll have a look at birdie. Yeah. And Reed is very in position for birdie.
That is a great shot. Craig playing fast right after that. But like you said, the distance really isn't a problem on this hole.
No.
You could throw putter off the tee and still have a pretty easy approach. Signature wasp there, looked like.
He cranked on that thing. Great shot. We didn't see any OB graphics here, so it looks like this is his second shot.
No, he has switched back to the P3X. That should be 20 feet. Greg looks like he's giving this a run. Oh my gosh.
Did that go through the basket?
I do not know how that missed.
He's thrown so many ridiculous runs this round.
So many. Reed also giving it a run. A little bit short. That should be fine.
And there is a birdie from Eagle again. That's 3 in a row for him. And he is cruising towards a hot score here.
Yeah, this is one where every player is expecting to get a birdie on this hole, especially coming down the stretch. No matter how your round is going, you can use this hole to turn it around or just keep a round going. So
Adam also getting his birdie. Reed snags a pretty simple birdie after that huge tee shot. And you can definitely sense a little bit of frustration from Greg here.
Hole 16, it's a straight par 3. A lot of players are going to be playing just putter mid, straight down the middle. It's just a straight shot and just trying to get through the gap, and you'll have a look pretty much.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a hyzer in play. There is that tree in the middle that forces you to at least miss that right. And this is the tree right here.
He goes straight through it.
Well,
I have not seen that.
I wish I knew that trick.
Adam looks like he's lining up the over-the-top line.
And the window's pretty calm out here, so I was actually surprised that a lot of the big arms were not throwing this shot. But as you can see, it's a pretty simple line.
That's very good.
Reed, I think, throwing a Vanessa Van Dyke in Meteor.
Yep, I believe so. Just outside the circle left side. Not too bad.
Where's Barsby going here? Straight up the gut.
Probably an eagle.
It's a smooth shot.
Beautiful shot. Just a little in the tall grass, but that shouldn't be a problem. Eagle going with a kind of awkward over-the-top flex putt.
Reed from about 50. There he is.
That is a great putt. 2 birdies in a row for Reed. Good to see him get that one.
Another great putt.
Tap in birdie for Adam as we move into hole 17.
Hey guys, this is Michael Johansson. You guys all know me as MJ. Today we're going to be discussing my 2020 Tour Series disc, the Comet. What I love about the Comet is the fact you can do almost everything with it when you get used to it. To me, the Comet shines the most when you're in the woods and you're forcing yourself into having to shape a shot around a tree. So it just really makes woods golf so much easier, which kind of is why I use it all the time. You can get them at your local disc golf retailer or always at DISCRAFT.com.
Hole 17 is kind of a longer par 4. Players can go big off the tee. There is some OB on the left side, but when you're throwing it far enough, it really doesn't come into play too much. Some bushes on the right can get into trouble, and then a very severe uphill second shot that's actually pretty hard to get up the hill.
Yeah, we actually see a lot of the big arms are just flexing behind the fairway. And I think Adam was trying to do that, but he actually might have made a decent mistake here.
Asking it to
go.
go.
Oh, no. Just out of bounds there from Adam. There's a little hyzer flip and Reed.
Yep, trusting it over the OB and just playing it into that flat zone. There are a couple ditches down here on the left side closer to the OB, which can give you some tricky footing.
And he threw his glasses off.
Stay out of that tall stuff.
And whatever that disc is that Barsby's throwing, he's just not having a good connection with it today. It's been going right for him. Might be beating in too much for him now. An eagle goes, yep.
Smashing on a DD3. That might even go past that tree. Oh, right into it. It's kind of unfortunate for the distance, but he should be able to work something out.
That tree is very well placed.
This is a long shot when you're back here where Greg is. Looks to have done a pretty good job.
Yeah, might be in circle 2.
Yep, backside of the green. Should have a look.
I think Reed booed himself.
Yeah, rare to see that, but definitely can happen sometimes. Adam pulling out this zone again. A little bit short, but should be inside the circle.
And is that a putter?
Yeah, I believe that's that P3X again.
It's actually a pretty good tree kick.
Yeah, not too bad. That's it, yep. This is another green where rollaways are very in play.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed actually got farther up there than I thought he did.
Yeah.
I thought he was closer to circle 2, but maybe just outside the circle, and another great birdie putt.
Yeah, potentially all that self-booing kicked him in the patootie a little bit.
Great putt there from Adam.
Pretty solid kick off the tree for Eagle there. Snags another birdie.
Yeah, there are definitely some tricky lies to be had over there behind those trees.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bunker on the green for sure. Greg tapping in a par.
Well, very considerate of Reed. Very self-aware of him. And we will move into hole number 18 in just a few seconds. Hole number 18, par 3, 315 feet. Definitely does not play that far. Plays quite a bit farther with the uphill tee shot that we have. Tight hyzer line up the hill. It feels like it's being sawed off, but it's actually going to pin the basket. OB on the left side.
Yeah, the hardest part about this hole is you want to play a skip shot, but with how far uphill you're throwing, it's very hard to get that skip. And that's actually pretty long from Reed. You don't see that very often on this hole.
And that looks a little bit better from Eagle.
A little more hyzer.
And see how hard it is really to penetrate that circle one. You really have to cut it low and push it underneath those low-hanging branches. Here's Adam with that force again. And that looks a little wide as well.
Yeah, they're all taking this around the branch line, which really makes it hard to get into circle one. It just pushes you either short or long.
And that looks pretty good. That's got to push.
That gets a little bit of a skip.
A little bit short. It's a giant uphill sidearm for sure.
Yeah, this definitely plays well over 400 feet.
Yeah. And Barsby just couldn't capitalize on those circle two putts today.
Yeah, he's normally good for a couple of those, but every once in a while, Adam turning away from that one pretty quick.
Let's see if Reed can turn this all around. There
Great
it is.
putt. Way to turn around the round from Reed. He was 6 over through the front 9, got it back down to 1. And a great round from Eagle. 11 under out here. 61% birdies.
No bogeys.
Bogey free is how you can really dictate a really good round out here.
And Adam with a solid 6 under par. You saw with how many long late circle one putts he missed. He definitely wanted some more. But I think we'll see him back tomorrow.
Definitely. Greg tapping out. Not the round he was looking for, but we have 2 more rounds left.
That was round 1. So thank you so much for tuning in. And again, make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media, and we will catch you for round 2. Tristan?
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Brian.
Later.